In utter honor and respect for NASA's $93 billion Artemis II trip, not to, but around the moon. And honestly, I don't know why they want to go around the moon, because I think they should be going to the moon, at least so they can pick up that poor camera guy they left on the moon back in the 1960s. After all, what did happen to the guy who recorded that shot? Anyway, in honor of this technological marvel that cost them nothing and costs us everything, I thought it'd be a good idea to revisit the exuberance and joy and the excitement expressed by these guys after they got back from the first moon landing. Of course you've seen more excitement at a funeral, but don't let that throw you. Yeah, they're slumped down in their seats, playing with their pencils and looking off into nothingness like they've been called to the principal's office. But that's just Buzz, Neil's, and Michael's way of being professional. Let's take a look at this and realize that a lot of people have said, well, I believed we went to the moon until I saw this press conference.
I have two brief questions I'd like to ask, if I may. When you were carrying out that incredible moonwalk, did you find that the surface was equally firm anywhere, or were there harder and softer spots that you could detect? And secondly, when you looked up at the sky, could you actually see the stars and the solar corona in spite of the glare?
In this rough terrain,
we were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were a little bit concerned, you said, about stubbing your toe at the point of landing because the surface was obscured by dust.
I'm struck from the movies and the still pictures by the difference in the very hostile appearance of the moon when you're orbiting over it or some distance from it, and the warmer colors and the apparently relatively more friendly appearance of it when you're on the surface. I'd like to ask Colonel Collins if he gets that same impression from the pictures, and the two of you who were on the moon, what impression you have along those lines.
Well, the moon changes character as the angle of sunlight striking its surface changes. At very low sun angles, close to the terminator, or dawn or at dusk, it has the harsh, forbidding characteristics which you see in a lot of the photographs. On the other hand, when the sun is more closely overhead, a midday situation, the moon takes on more of a brown color, it becomes almost a rosy-looking place, a fairly friendly place, so that from dawn through midday through dusk, you run the whole gamut of it. It starts out very forbidding, becomes friendly, and then becomes forbidding again as the sun disappears.
Ain't that right, Neil? I mean, my story lines up with yours, right? You're going to tell the same story, huh?
Neil, were you and Buzz, did you have the feeling you were getting a little low on fuel during the landing? Were you concerned at that point about being low on fuel? And the second part of it, I suppose, for Buzz is, out of your experience, how tough do you think pinpoint precision landings will be on the lunar surface on future flights?
Okay, yes, we were concerned about running low on fuel and the range extension of the landing area that you found yourself in. However, we spent more time in the manual phase than we would have planned in order to find a suitable landing area.
Many of us and many other people in many places have speculated on the meaning of this first landing on another body in space. Would each of you give us your estimate of what is the meaning of this to all of us?
Look at these guys. Yeah, we went to this place that every single one of our ancestors have looked upon for thousands and thousands of years. We made this impossible journey, and we were able to come back and tell our story, and this is the most excitement we could possibly muster. This is what it looks like when a team loses the finals and then is expected to explain what went wrong. Not an elite, select group of guys who made it through the inhospitable plane of space in a tin can, traveling over 250,000 miles one way through the Van Allen radiation belts, setting foot on the moon and making it all the way back in one piece, splashing down in the ocean and being hailed as heroes. What is going on here? What is Buzz's body language telling us? Why does Neil act so bored and disinterested? How come Michael is just staring off into space? Why are they all acting like they got something to hide or they've done something wrong?
You want to try that?
After you.
Remember, the question from the press was, what is the meaning to all this? What does it mean for you guys to have landed on the moon? This is what Buzz's answer was.
I believe that what this country set out to do was something that was going to be done sooner or later, whether we set a specific goal or not. I believe that from the early space flights, we demonstrated a potential to carry out this type of a mission. And again, it was a question of time until this would be accomplished. I think the relative ease with which we were able to carry out our mission, which of course came after a very efficient and a logical sequence of flights, I think that this demonstrated that we were certainly on the right track when we took this commitment to go to the moon. I think that what this means is that many other problems perhaps can be solved in the same way by taking a commitment to solve them in a long time fashion. I think that we were timely in accepting this mission of going to the moon. It might be timely at this point to think in many other areas of other missions that could be accomplished.
Well, everybody looking at me?
That was the best Buzz could come up with. I haven't even been to the moon. I've barely been to Mexico. And I know how I would answer. I'd be like, what is the meaning? You got to be kidding. For millennia, our ancestors have looked up into the moon. Many people have probably prayed to the moon. Everybody sees the moon. Every single one of us. We touched our feet on the moon. Do you know what this means? This means humanity can pretty much do anything we set our minds to. It was a technological marvel. I mean, we did this with the tools that we had, with the knowledge that we had. We took a big gamble, a big risk. We put everything on the table and we succeeded. This is so mind-blowingly awesome. I'm so thankful to be here and to have been the one of the three who was chosen to actually embark upon this impossible mission. And guys, it was an impossible mission. There was a lot of unknowns out there that we had to figure out, and we had to make those unknowns knowns, and we did that. We can do anything. We can have peace in our time. We can put an end to wars and suffering and poverty. If we can make it to the moon, we can make better choices, a better earth, and a better life for everyone. I am freaking stoked, man. But it's the opposite. It looks like these guys have lost their best friend or their parents to a tragic car accident or something.
I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does, I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation.
And we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't. You watched animation.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and And that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. But I think I know. Because we didn't. Because we didn't. Because we didn't.
What do you think is going on here? Do you guys believe that these men went where they said they went?
Because we didn't.
Does it look to you like they've got something to hide or that they're lying about something here? Why aren't they excited? Am I just reading into this? Were they just tired? Did somebody give them a downer? By the way, the launch and liftoff for Artemis II is appropriately happening on April 1st. Thanks for stopping by and watching this video. If you want to help this channel out, you can do it for free. Just like this video, share this video, and comment on this video. It really helps with the algorithms. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon. I try to upload at least 1 or 2 videos every single day. Hey, maybe even become a channel member. That would help out. Grab a shirt, become a channel member. And I do have some links in the description if you want to help further. The goal here is to uncover the truth by asking questions. Truth is treason in the empire of lies. It always has been, and it always will be. I'll see you in the next video.